You act like it never happened. How would you got to think about from this perspective, how would you treat her if you were bored of her, if you were tired of fucking her? You'd be not, and you work together. You'd be nice. You'd be respectful. You're not going to go out of your way to talk to her because it's over. You don't want to date her anymore, and you don't want to give her the impression you're still interested. So, unless she brings something up, it's like it never happened. Just treat her like anybody else. Like I said, how would you treat her if you were tired of fucking her, basically? If you were tired of hooking up and hanging out?
I've approached several girls in a close college setting, like the study area and on the streets of the city. Since their social circle is tight knit, I worry about being labeled a skirt chaser after multiple graceful rejection.
And then he adds that one part.
Oh, plus girls talk, and I have asked out girls who are girlfriends.
Well, if you're constantly doing cold approaches and you're not getting anywhere, that means you're either mostly approaching women that have no interest in you. If you want to have a better experience, approach women that smile and make eye contact. You'll do a lot less approaches, but your results will be better typically. But I would say if you're just constantly getting rejected and you're at the point where you're approaching several girls and girls that know each other, then it's possible you become known as a bad pickup artist. And so you should probably focus more on just engaging and talking and getting, especially if you see the same girls over and over, and shooting the shit with them and get good at rapport and obviously reading 3% Man so you can see and understand what the body language is when you're welcome and they want you to stick around and when you're kind of being a pest, because it sounds like you're doing a lot of approaches and you're unable to tell that the girls just aren't interested in you. And so I would kind of back off a little bit from asking girls out and focus more on creating rapport. Because if they like you and they enjoy hanging out with you, they'll invite you to sit with them. But if their body language is all turned away from you, if their knees are pointed away from you, if some of the girls are being kind of rude, then you're going to have to work on your social skills and building rapport. Like I said, you'd have a better experience if you're approaching women that smile and make eye contact with you, especially if you're first starting out. That way, the approaches you do, they're better, and you see how they flow, and then you could start cold approaching girls that don't see you or make eye contact at all. But you got to understand your success rate is going to be really low. But once you're used to seeing what it's like when women welcome you there, then you'll be able to kind of see the difference and find that balance there. But anything you can do to be more social and talk and interact with people and practice your small talk so you put people at ease, asking questions and asking opinions especially, that's a better way to go because it's a process.
Do you think they should go for not the least attractive, but maybe someone that isn't like up here?
Well, go for somebody that smiles and makes eye contact
And
at
they,
least, because that's even. I mean, if you like a guy, you're going to look at him and smile at him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you see a guy checking you out and you're like, "Ooh, I don't like that guy," you're not going to make eye contact, and you're certainly not going to smile, because then he's going to think, "Oh, he must that you like him," and he's going to come over a lot of times.
Yeah.
So that's important, especially if he's in college, he's learning how to do this. And so you have to do it enough so you can tell when the girls are happy that you came over and you're making them laugh and you're just asking questions. Maybe you're asking them opinions about certain things. I'd write down or come up with 4 or 5 questions that are good opinion openers that you can ask. But again, if you're just doing it on campus, I wouldn't be doing the same openers every time, because then they're going to know that you're just strictly trying to pick women up. When you really master it, it just seems like you're a friendly dude, an outgoing guy that comes over, is like, "Hey, what are you guys up to?" It's like when you're in a bar or you're hanging out, it's like, "Hey, what are you girls doing tonight? Where you guys headed? What are you up to?" And that's just a simple opener. It's like, then they can tell you what they're doing, what they're up to. And then whatever they say, then you can kind of pick up on that and create a good conversation thread.
Yeah, and a lot of times if you don't appear to be interested in them in like a relationship or sexually, a lot of girls are like, why is he not flirting with me? Why is he, not asking me out or anything like that? And so they become more curious about you, and then they want to ask you to do things
Yeah,
rather
you can
than.
also talk to the girlfriends that are the ones that you're not interested in and create rapport with them, because that's important, especially if girls are in a group. If you only go straight for the girl that you like, and then the other girls don't like you, they'll cock block you. But if you engage all of them in conversation, and then you initially focus on their friends and talking to them and creating rapport, then the last one you talk to is your target, so to speak, the one that you're really interested in. And by you get to that point, now her girlfriends like you, and then you can work on creating rapport with her. So that's important, and that's something I learned early on in sales. Is like, especially like when you got a couple, like a husband and wife, and you're trying to sell them a house, and you typically the wife gets put in charge of that, and you meet with her. If you don't take the time to get to know the husband and create rapport with him, he'll torpedo the deal because he doesn't have a relationship with you. And so in those cases, you have to create rapport with both people. And so in this context, when you have a group of people, it's important to make everybody in the group feel like you're engaging them in conversation. Because if you just ignore her friends, the friends are going to go, I don't like this guy. And they'll torpedo your chances. But if they all like you and everybody's laughing, and then the girl you really like, you can say, well, I'm really interested in your friend. Is she a nice girl? Is she a good person? If you guys were setting somebody up you really cared about, would you set that guy you cared about, maybe it's your brother, with your girl? What's she like? Is she a nice person? And see what they say. And now you've asked the question, and now you got her two or three friends that are trying to convince you on why you definitely should go out with her.
I acted a little bit needy, but her behavior was untrustworthy. I put a story with another girl. She immediately left, and a week later, she has a boyfriend.
Well, I guess you were just one of her orbiters and one of the dudes in her rotation. So now you know where you stand. You clearly weren't that important to her. And if she's with a guy and has a boyfriend the very next week, you were just one of the guys that she was fucking. So congratulations. Welcome. Well, actually, I guess technically you got dropped from her practice squad. So go build your own. Get some new prospects.
You were the weakest link. Goodbye.